Good morning, good evening, or whatever time of day you may find yourself in. I'm George Shea, and this is my devlog, episode 2, Post-Mortem. So, part 1 is going to be covering the game that I showed off last week, and part 2 will be covering the game that you see on your screen right now. So, for the unnamed game, it was just simply so I could get back into Unity and get back used to how the Unity interface worked and how scripting worked, because I haven't done that in a while. So I wanted to cover three main categories: movement, shooting, and animation. The animation I covered was just a really simple guy running in place and going from idle to running. So I felt like I covered that and at least have a bit more basic understanding of that. Shooting is just follow the mouse and have some fun out back. And finally, the movement, which is I was really happy about. This is the first time I felt like my movement scripts have actually felt like it could be fun to develop in the future. I'll be likely moving the movement script into a different game in the future, but not continuing development with this current iteration of the game. So with that, I'll be concluding part 1 and moving into part 2, which is the game you can see on your screen right now. As a warm-up for the Ludum Dare, which is happening on October 2nd, I do hope you join or at least vote on the games, as it's always exciting to see what comes out of it. So as a warm-up, I decided to make a game on Thursday in 5 hours, as I wanted to just do it. Okay, so the game is pretty simple. It's called Self-Centered Pong, and the goal of the game is to keep the pong ball in the center of the screen. The paddle is everything's really simple. By the way, if you want to check it out, I do have my itch.io linked in the going to be linked in the description of the YouTube video, so I hope you do check it out. And anyone who has checked it out already, thank you so much for checking out my game. I'm genuinely happy about the response I've gotten. I've gotten 109 views and 9 downloads in the past like 3 days, and it's just crazy to think that that many people actually care about just me, well, at least my game and seeing it. So that's really exciting for me to see. And it's kind of a nice little quote unquote birthday present for myself because it's my birthday today. So that's why I wanted to make sure I got a recording out today. Okay. So this was going to be rather quick for the how it was built. It has three components. I guess four. First one is the paddle, which just follows the mouse. Nothing earth-shattering there. The ball will hit once it hits the paddle, it'll deviate by zero point 0.3 to negative zero point 0.3 in transformation. So sometimes you can get in these little fun little death spirals where you try to keep the ball out and get a lot of points really quickly. Thirdly, sorry, my bad, is the color. Fancy color. The color was simply transitioned between two colors, nice and slowly, so it isn't hurting your eyes or thr- too thrilling. I just wanted the game to be a nice little. You could just play quickly when you have like a 5 minute break. Yeah, that's what the intention of this game was. And finally, there's just the death barrier outside of it, which just resets the sphere. So there's no pausing, no menus, and no sound. I wish I could have added sound eventually, but I'm really bad with music, and it would have to be looping and yada yada. But the menu was a deliberate choice, as I didn't want people had to like, you don't want to have to click restart every time you want to just play this game, as it's meant to be really quick and a nice flow state. And finally, I'll be showing off how the game plays, so you don't have to check out the itch.io page, because I know it can be annoying to download a game just to play something as simple. So now I'll be beginning. Let's see, I want to make sure I have my mouse in the center. I'm not too great at rhythm games, but I do plan on developing more of them in the future, as I find them actually pretty fun, relaxing, and a nice change of pace from my shooters that I usually play and develop. My high score is currently 44, and I encourage you to try to beat it. If I can, I'll be getting a WebGL variant of this out, but it's been really finicky and I couldn't figure out how to get it to work. I managed to compress the files down to like 7 megabytes and it still doesn't want to run. I thought it maybe had something to do with the universal render pipeline I'm using for the lighting, but WebGL appears to support it, so dynamic lighting might be too much for it. I really don't know, but the issue is I can't bake this lighting, as it's basically all dynamic. As you can see, the lights are constantly changing, overlaying. But isn't simple, but as you can see, all the things in the screen change the color, which I find really, really relaxing. So with that, I'll be pausing the game, And I thank you for anyone who's stuck around this long to watch my entire devlog. And the next week, I'll probably be not making anything but a longer post-mortem for the Ludum Dare. A longer post-mortem for the Ludum Dare, which I hope you guys can see and enjoy. After which, I have no clue what I'm going to be doing. I'll probably be making a new devlog series for something. If you have any suggestions what I should make, I do appreciate any comments below. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and it's been fun. Goodbye, good night, and see you next time.